Thank you, Mr. Chairman. Mr. Gleicher, in your testimony, you said that Facebook works hard to limit the spread of spam and other content abuses on your platform, and that you have human review and automated detection as two ways that Facebook does this. You mentioned that Facebook has over 35,000 people working on safety and security to ensure inappropriate or graphic content is not able to stay posted. How many of these people are content moderators?
Congressman, I don't have a specific number for you within that 35,000, in part because we actually have policy experts that also step in on content moderation for particularly challenging cases, but a very large number of that set are focused on content moderation to make sure we have the resources we need.
Would the number 15,000 be in the ballpark of content moderators? People actually viewing what's on the screen and making determinations whether or not to take it down?
Congressman, I'm happy to follow up and speak in more detail for specific numbers.
Okay, if you could do that in writing to the committee, I'd like to know exactly the number of content moderators. As you know, individuals we have seen that use your platform will find numerous ways to circumvent your detection software. So in many ways, content moderators are the last line of defense. And the number that I think has been reported publicly is that you're employing somewhere around 15,000 individuals to ensure community compliance across the platform of about 1 billion Facebook users. If that is the number, and we will wait and see what you come back with, does that seem like an adequate number to you, 15,000 moderators for over 1 billion users on Facebook?
Congressman, we can always do more, but part of our approach here is pure human moderation by itself will never scale to be enough to tackle a challenge like this. We need also automated systems that help triage and sort of empower those moderators. So we have both AI-enabled systems, and then we have content moderators, and then we have proactive detectors, investigators that hunt for more sophisticated operations. We need all of these pieces in order to be able to deal with this challenge.
Do you have any plans to hire more humans, more content moderators?
Congressman, we're continually expanding our teams. There's a reason that the number of people we have working in this space has more than tripled in recent years. I expect that to continue to grow.
I'm sure you're aware, Mr. Gleicher, a family from my district in Utica, New York, suffered an unimaginable loss when their daughter, Bianca Devins, was murdered on July 14th, 2009. And the alleged perpetrator then posted extremely graphic and disturbing images of the crime on social media. And these images reportedly appeared more than a week later on Facebook. I use this as a case, as an example of how the system Facebook has in place clearly failed at the expense of my constituents. So if content moderators are not adequately trained or are not able to keep up with workload, these tragedies will continue to occur. Can you speak to the training process of content moderators?
Congressman, what happened to Ms. Devins is a complete tragedy, and the fact that people use platforms designed to build community to glorify that is completely unacceptable to us. What we see here, though, there are two pieces that are relevant. First is the immediate response to identify and remove the photograph. The second challenge is we see, as we saw in this case, groups of people actually work actively to try to spread and share that photograph by recutting it, by editing it, and by sharing tips amongst themselves on how to beat the automated systems we have in place.
Right. I understand that, but in terms of if I'm a content moderator, I'm employed by Facebook, what training do I go through to become a content moderator?
Congressman, we have a whole series of training that we go through with content moderators to ensure that they understand both what the policy lines are and how they can take both quick action but also deliberate action. I'm happy to follow up with more details on those and talk about them if that's helpful.
That would be great. If you can do that to the committee, that would be very helpful. Obviously, there must be accountability of users on Facebook and other social media platforms who violate your company's community standards in such a despicable way, such as purposefully deceiving veterans or sharing graphic content. Can you talk a little bit about what you will do to either permanently ban users who share these images and, to the best of your ability, restrict their IP addresses, users' IP addresses from accessing the app under a different account?
Congressman, whenever we see inauthentic behavior, deceptive behavior, we remove that account from the platform and we do permanently ban it. I would be careful here only because in some cases you can imagine someone sharing this to condemn it, or a reporter mistakenly sharing it to report on it. Both of those are cases where we would remove the content because it clearly violates our policies, but it's not entirely clear we should fully ban an individual like that.
How do you make that determination then?
In a context like that, this is why we think both about behavior and about content. If we see content that violates, we take action against the content. If we see repeat behavior, that's an indication that the actor behind it is in fact bad intentioned, and we take more aggressive action against the actor, for example, removing the account.
Great. Thank you, sir.